erynduhnay, your fave healthcare advocate, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about why it's okay to not graduate on time. And by on time, actually, I'm gonna get into that later on in the video. But I feel like graduating on time can be unnecessary and unhelpful in a myriad of ways. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, what is graduating on time? Basically, graduating on time requires that you fulfill certain requirements of your degree program. You take certain classes, you do certain activities prior to an established time period. Usually for colleges and universities, it's a 4-year time period, but of course this can differ depending on the kind of post-secondary educational institution that you go to. So I know that for some like community colleges, they will prioritize transferring students out to a 4-year over graduating from their college. So maybe their on time will be 2 years for you to complete, like, the general education courses and maybe some other prerequisites that you need for your degree program at the other university. And then if you can transfer after those 2 years, then that's graduating on time, with your AA and all that stuff. But for this video, I'm going to focus on graduating on time and what that means for people who attend 4-year colleges and universities. Just, for the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about resources that are more commonly offered at those kinds of universities. So that's why I'm focusing on those institutions. And it also relates to my own personal experiences as well. So I feel like I should only talk about the experiences that I've had, and if you want to share your own experience and maybe it's similar, maybe it's very different at different kinds of institutions, that's perfectly fine. Please feel free to continue the conversation down below in the comments. So the chances, the 4-year degree is quickly becoming a misnomer, meaning that a lot of students are no longer graduating on time or within those 4 years. As of 2020 to 2021, only 41% of American college students graduate from college in 4 years. Further, the majority of colleges and universities in the United States now possess 4-year graduation rates below 60%. Including many competitive flagship institutions. And that article goes on to list a few major universities that are really, really huge. And so we can see just with that stat alone that graduating on time is not really common, and it's not the norm for a lot of students, for almost majority of students. I mean, majority, 60% of students still graduate within that time period, but 40% is a very significant amount to not be graduating on time. All right, so let's talk about the stress that graduating on time can put on students. First of all, I want to start with the fact that a lot of freshmen in college are literally teenagers, or if that seems a bit young for you, I know that when I was a freshman in college, I would take that offensively. Let's say adolescents. They're very young adolescents, okay? They're still trying to develop their own sense of self-awareness, the direction that they want to go with their career, what their goals are, what kind of people that they're going to be, what kind of adults that they're going to be. So for them to be like, yeah, you need to know exactly what classes to take, in what order to take them, so that you can meet this arbitrary deadline that we set for you, so that it can make our university, our school, look better. Great, thanks. That's a lot of pressure. And not to mention that this deadline typically does not take into account what students have going on outside of school, whether it be at home or, with clubs and within their own communities and within their own identities, even things that may be happening off campus or in their dorms. It's just, there's no way to tell. And I feel like to place another thing that could bring stress to a student's life is unnecessary. It's a little bit cruel. And even for students who do try, who do want to meet that 4-year deadline and just miss it just because of something outside of their control, they still feel that pang of guilt and shame and disappointment from missing that goal. And for myself, I did graduate 1 semester late. It's only 1 semester. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it still felt like a big deal because of this deadline. And one other theory that I had while, scripting this video was that when you come into college, they really, I guess you could say, they condition you to identify with that deadline, right? So when you come in as a freshman, you're not just a freshman, you're not just a first year, but you're class of 2020, class of 2023, class of 2025. And you also learn that you're supposed to introduce yourself in that way on campus whenever you're meeting professors, whenever you're meeting other students. So now it's not just, oh, they have classified me in this class. It's I am class of 2025. So I think that kind of conditioning when you're coming into college actually reinforces that, yes, this is a standard that we're holding you to, and this is a standard you should hold your peers to, that you should hold yourself to, that your parents are going to hold you to. So that kind of just, reinforces that whole idea of graduating on time. And that also brought me to another thought that, would that practice make it ageist? Is it ageist to only assign classes or graduation times to younger people who come into universities and colleges straight out of high school? What about people who are returning to college or people who never finished college? What class are they going to be a part of? And if they do get assigned to a class, are they really going to feel like they belong to that class? Are they really going to feel like they're sharing experiences and that they're sharing, classes and making memories and all of those things with their younger classmates? Is that even possible? I don't know. Now, I also want to talk about the inadequate mental health resources, which was actually my inspiration behind this entire video. I wanted to make this video because of my own mental health experience in undergrad and how it really could have, and I think that it did, deter me from graduating on time, right? Students are dealing with so much and are trying to do so much in that 4-year time period, and often, as you can see with the earlier statistic that I shared, it's not enough time to do what they need to do. And would providing better mental health resources assist in graduating on time? Maybe. I know for me, it definitely would have helped me navigate certain things, certain problems, certain issues, obstacles, and just personal things that I was going through at the time. And I feel like a lot of universities don't have adequate mental health resources, meaning that they don't actually have enough therapists to have enough appointments to serve their entire student population. And if we're being honest, we know that each and every person deserves to have therapy, deserves to have at least access to therapy. And I believe that each person should actually use therapy, go to therapy, see a therapist, see a counselor, whatever it may be. So if we're already starting there, then it's already inadequate. And if we break it down to, are there enough Black therapists? Are there enough indigenous therapists? Are there enough LGBTQ plus therapists to serve those more marginalized populations? Then you see the disparity. You really begin to see the disparity between how the majority is treated and how the marginalized are treated in institutions, but specifically in this case, in this scenario, in these stories, it's going to be in an educational institution. And also, if you want to know more about my experience in trying to seek therapy while in college, feel free to check it out on my Instagram. I'll go ahead and leave a screenshot of what the post is so that you can find it more easily and read through my story. Or you can also check out the blog that I have on my YouTube. I wrote the story there as well, and it's kind of in more detail there. So if you want to really get the scoop, I would say, go to my blog. You can find the link down in my description box for that. All right, so this is definitely one of my shorter videos, but that's all that I have for today. I think maybe I'll follow up this video with like a deeper dive into why is there a 4-year deadline? What's the 4 years for? How did that happen? And why are we sticking to that when we know college students can't really meet that deadline, right? Why are we continuing to perpetuate this idea and putting this pressure on students to graduate on time? Yeah. And let's continue the conversation down below in the description box. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What was it like for you trying to seek mental health resources on campus? And what was your experience like trying to graduate on time? Or did you not? Or were you even trying? I know some students just kind of throw that concept out the window because it's just completely unrealistic for their life. I mean, think about students who are single parents, students who have families, students who are also caretakers. Is that realistic for that population to graduate on time? I don't really think so. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. One more reminder, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. And as always, I'm open to feedback, so if you have any, feel free to let me know. All that I ask is that you phrase it, frame it, send it respectfully. Thank you. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day or evening or morning, whatever time it is, I don't know. Bye. And the video is done. I gotta sing out every video because it's a necessary thing that I do now. And I imagine it's fun and entertaining.